Hey everybody! So this is Book of Katherine. So I was just about to make another film, and then I realized, oh no, I stupidly tried to listen to something as I was about to make the film. Shouldn't have done that. Listen to an update on the border wall. And as I'm listening to the update on the border wall, they're sitting there talking about how they go to each of the border agents and they ask them, like, what is the number one thing that would help you in your job? And they're like, a border wall. And they feel like they have to say this at every press conference. They feel like at every press conference they have to say, we ask every single agent, and every single agent says, what would help me feel more secure in my job? What would help me in my job? A border wall. And I'm just like, that just helps the Nazis and the monarchies win every time we address their concerns. Like, I was kind of sad. I was watching one of my videos, and at the very end I said something addressing their narrative, and I was like, it always makes me sad when I hear someone address a narrative when they were being an individual and being themselves, and I'm like, why address their narrative? It's very interesting, and it now almost sounds comical hearing America say, we're sorry you want to raise a border, when we know the entire press is basically the British press. Like, once we see it in terms of the British monarchy versus America again, everything suddenly makes sense. Like the fact that we're arguing for a border. We'd really like to have a border, please. It's so wrong you want a border. Yeah, we really, really want to have a border. Britain is never going to, in no way we say, there's not going to ever be a way that we say we want a border that Britain ever is going to be like, yeah, you can have your border. Ever. They're never going to be happy about it. And none of their press is ever going to say, good job. Ever. Ever. It's never going to happen. That is why the press is never happy, no matter which way you argue it. Kellyanne Conway can give a press conference any way she wants. Any conservative can say whatever they want. And really, conservative versus Democrat, what we're learning historically, even back to the Civil War, is literally, do you want to be free from Great Britain or don't you? That was literally Republican versus Democrat was, do you want to be loyal to the crown or don't you? Do you want to be ruled by master servant or don't you? Do you believe you can self-govern or not? And the reason the Democrats didn't want it is because when they were down there, they got a lot more money, just like today. Just like the press today is like, oh, we really, really love being with the royals because they give us so much money. The Democrats of the South loved it because they got so much money. Go travel to the South. The South is not hurting. The South has badom money. They always paint it, Hollywood paints it as the South is so bad, and it makes us feel like they're victims. Actually travel to the South. They ain't victims. Like, they treat, like, the external, once again, it looks, go to the South and you'll see what a monarchy it is, because they still treat they do not encourage, like, that's where all the mining is still happening. The monarchy is still in control. Let me give you a good example. Baltimore, ton of mining, right? But guess who has it? It's Great Britain that's in there. It's Great Britain. It's 60% black, like 66% black, and they get a ton of mining. The rest of America doesn't. New York doesn't get to touch its land at all. Why? Who left the colonies that they had back in Europe, and those people should never ever. So they turn them into, it's amazing. It's amazing the kind of job Great Britain has done. The kind of job Great Britain has done on America. And so New Yorkers do not touch their land, do not make any money off their land. There's no money coming off of it. And then all of the South has a ton of poor families. The poverty is insane, but they have a ton of mining and everything. It's just like, even like Kentucky, Mitch McConnell, he did a deal with Bill Clinton so that those people can't own their own land. They did the Great Lease Act. And so the upper crust got a ton of money. It's totally something. They have to lease their land from the monarchy. In America, that's happening. In Kentucky, the Kentucky farmers, the tobacco farmers, have to lease their land. They have to lease their land from the government, like they're a monarchy. And what they said was, oh, because it's tobacco, because it's a harmful substance. Really? Then why is tobacco still legal everywhere? Why is it legal everywhere? All other countries can harm it. It's just because it's Americans, and it's Americans daring to do it here. And I'm like, freedom. We have freedom to do everything. But oh no, because trust me, let me put it this way. If we had not fought the Civil War, those farmers would just be fine, and they'd have they'd be just fine making their money off their land. Just fine. Look, I'm starting to seize and stutter. All right. Love you guys so much. Bye. Have fun. Everything makes sense now. I guess what I'm saying here, let me tell you something. You go back and trace the monarchies of Great Britain and trace their sons and daughters when they have 10 kids. They had kings and queens down to Mexico. Like their government, they went worldwide. That's why I just think it's hysterical. So when they flood people from South America and stuff, they're inheritor, like they have descendants down in Latin America. You know what I mean? Like we are being invaded. All right, love you. Bye. Study the monarchies. Learn. Au revoir.